Welcome to a brand new video. This is Timelapse for those of you returning. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to do so below. I just won a Grand Challenge 12 wins, and I just want to run through my battle log to show all the different decks that I faced. By far, in the last video, I talked about how Giant Lightning is very oppressive. All over Reddit, people are starting to talk about Giant Lightning. And so, once again, the first game I want to show is facing Giant Lightning because I feel like my deck is very well rounded and doesn't really fail against Giant Lightning. Now that I've played it enough times, I know what to do and what not to do. This game isn't the one that's that exciting, so I won't really commentate too much over it. It's the next game that is just absolutely ridiculous. I was very surprised. I ended up pulling out the W, and probably about 30 seconds into the game, you're going to think no way I'm going to win it. But I'll get back to that one. What I want to talk about today is things that I've noticed from grand challenges and ladder alike, usually more at the beginning of season. As the season goes on, you start running into more higher leveled, higher skilled players. At the beginning of the season, it's smorgasbord, people who are just barely making it with really low card levels to people that are maxed out. The same thing happens in challenges, is that at the beginning, you might play someone who's 2,000 trophy count, and not to say that you can't be highly skilled at 2,000 trophy count, but you probably don't have all the cards, so your options are a little bit limited. But something that I notice while I'm playing is that I can tell about halfway through the game, if not before, about what their trophy count is. And I try to play like a game with myself saying, oh, okay, this person's probably around 3,500 or 2,500. And the way that I'm able to tell is by the way they play defense. You can tell a lot about someone's skill level based on the way they play defense. Like take this for example. He was waiting with a zap, he had lightning, he just didn't know what to do. He got one hit off with the prince. I could have put out other cards, but instead I took the one damage. Not that big of a deal in this game. But what I've noticed is when playing defense, you have to anticipate what the opponent is trying to do. And that's something that I've noticed that newer players to the game or players that aren't as confident in their deck, they don't always analyze what's going on behind the scenes, what the opponent's trying to do. And it took me quite a while to figure it out, and I got to the point when I would start playing naked graveyards where I don't have any tank, it's just going down. And it's because I'm so far out of rotation, but I also know that he's out of rotation or she's out of rotation, that they don't have archers in hand, they don't have their executioner, they don't have their minions or whatever it is. And then on top of that, I've started using arrows, and what I've noticed is that it's a really low risk, high reward card. You can even pre-fire arrows and get a lot of value out of them, even if they don't play anything. It's kind of like the executioner. It's just area control. If you throw arrows, they can't really put anything down. So in a lot of my games, you'll see me just pre-fire arrows, and I'll do it in challenges, I'll do it on ladder. It's not like it's something where I only risk it for the biscuit when I'm on ladder because there isn't that much at risk, but I will pre-fire arrows all the time. And that's something that a high-skilled player will know that it's coming after they've seen it maybe once. Even if they haven't seen it, they know that I'm going to do something. They should know if I'm overflowing an elixir or not. So there's many times in the battle that it's not necessarily true that I know exactly how much they have in terms of elixir, but I notice that the opponent doesn't realize what I'm doing, and specifically it's Hog Rider decks. I think the Hog Rider is a little bit of a deceiving card. Less people fully understand how to use it efficiently, and that makes it really difficult for players rising up because they see hogs all over the place, but they don't exactly know when to time their push and when not to. I think it's a difficult card to master. It's an easy card to play. That being said, when I play people with Hog Rider decks, I notice that they don't always know what cards I have in my hand, and they'll throw down their Hog Rider Ice Golem and then be really frustrated that they didn't make their push to the tower because I have a bowler already pre-planted waiting. As soon as I see the Ice Golem go down, I've already planted it. I have my finger hovered and I'm ready to go. I know what they're about to do, and they don't know what I'm about to do. So that's one problem that I see with newer players and players that are not as skilled in the metagame, and knowing what cards the opponent has in rotation is something very difficult to really keep track of, and it's really difficult to learn. All right, right here in this game, I knew that he had lightning, even though I don't think he's used it yet. I knew that he had lightning, and I couldn't play my Inferno Tower. I just played too many people with the deck, and I just couldn't play the Inferno Tower. The Three Musketeers actually caught me off guard. I think I just wasted an arrow right there. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. He would have gotten a lot more damage on my king tower than he ended up getting if I didn't do the arrows, but right away I was in a huge disadvantage on this. I've done about 1,000 tower damage. He has a pump, he has an elixir advantage, he has damage on my king tower. Things are just not going well for me right now. When playing this deck, I basically go the same lane that they're coming from because I don't have that many troops that deal damage. I have the Executioner, I have the Bowler, and I have the Electro Wizard. I have an Inferno Tower, but it doesn't do very much good when it gets Lightning down, or if they have the Electro Wizard, which a lot of these decks are running the Electro Wizard because they know they can Lightning down the support, but they need something to take care of the Inferno Tower. I just want to point to the screen right there. I dropped my Electro Wizard right on top of the Three Musketeers, and he was able to take him out because we had one hit from the Bowler, which has a little bit of a stun knockback, and then we had 2 tower shooting. Right here, he did a really good job with his Electro Wizard, but that tornado pull right there, not to toot my own horn, but that was pretty epic. I was able to get him out of there so the giant got taken down. He didn't need to use the lightning until after I did that, and it was just a little too late. At that point, my Inferno Tower didn't have that much health, so it hit the Bowler first, which was really beneficial for me. Right here, I made a mistake. I put way too many troops to the left, but him playing his giant a little bit late let me get rid of that Executioner, and then he lightninged, which was actually pretty greedy. He should have just taken some time to build a push. So that was really a big mistake, and you'll see why pretty soon here. He pre-planted his Executioner on the wrong side, which I just got a little bit lucky, and knowing that I got a little bit lucky, I went very aggressive with the Bowler. So now I have 2 Bowlers going in, and he's getting ready to drop the 3 Musketeers, but what do I have ready? He laughs. I don't know why. Maybe a little bit of a BM, but it was a little bit of a mistake. He didn't get any hits on my tower, and he has a lightning, and I know he wants to use his lightning. At this point, he should be working to try and spell down, but there's just too much coming at him. I have way too much pressure. Here's my favorite play. When you do a tornado right in front of the king tower and let the Executioner or the Bowler hit through to damage the tower and take out the support, it's almost broken. Many other people are going to start claiming it's very, very broken. But right here, he gets a greedy again and drops a lightning. He shouldn't have aimed for my king tower. There's no reason to hit the king tower at all. And there's just so many fatal flaws that during the game, it's high pressure, and I understand you make mistakes. Mistakes happen. But again, that was a really fatal mistake. So at the end, I ended up winning this game. And it was not the 12th win, it was the 11th. He's laughing because he knew he made mistakes. I was not trying to bad manner, but I gave him a little laugh as well. It was a pretty ridiculous game. I hope you enjoyed it. You probably watched it a few more times. There were things I didn't talk about that were very, very important. So let's jump into this chest. We got 12 wins. We're going to get some gold and 13 cards. Wow, that seems like a lot of cards. We're going to get a lot of just a few of them. So we're going to get a lot of all over the place, really spread out. My rares are just so far from being anywhere close to maxing out. All right, let's hope for some Executioners. Ooh, there we go. But I don't think I'm getting legendary. I haven't seen very many commons. All right, Canada's not bad. Right now, that's being really used in the new Giant Lightning meta, which this deck actually does really well against, but if the Executioner gets nerfed, who knows, I might end up trying that one out as well. Not to follow the bandwagon, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, we're going to get a double dip right here. I got a clan chest that just finished. It was actually pretty close prior, so we're going to see if we get anything good out of there. Hopefully we get one Executioner. That would be nice. We weren't able to do it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. After I hit 100 subscribers, I can get my custom URL, and that's the point at which I'll do my grand launch rather than soft launch.